Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the conversation. As you can see, I'm standing in the center of the town that I live in, and it's an absolutely gorgeous day, and thought that this would be a really good time to post another video. Believe it or not, Justin and I read every comment that's posted after every video. We read everything that you guys write, the positive things, the compliments, and the criticisms as well. We take all of them equally serious. And one of the things that y'all have been saying is that you really wish we would go back to doing the question and answer videos. Well, I can promise you those scripts are already written, and it's a matter of Justin and I both having the same days off at work, and we're gonna take care of it. That's gonna be probably in a week or two. One of the things we ask you guys to please keep in mind is we don't do YouTube videos full time. It's not a job for us. We literally have full-time jobs outside of this, and it's difficult for us to get our schedules to coordinate sometimes. And I personally work between 50 and 60 hours every single week. That's how much effort I'm putting into my job, but there's a good reason for it, and that's the purpose of this video. Some of you will remember that when I came to Germany and first got a job, I was hired as a line manager for a company that owns, and I have to be very careful not to name my company because while they're very, very supportive of what I'm doing, they don't want the company name dragged into it. So I'm intentionally not naming the company I work for. But the company I work for initially hired me as a line manager, basically to just run a shift in a particular office. And that was all well and good. I was so grateful to have a job. And to be honest, I was earning more money than I'd ever earned before in my entire life, just being a line manager. Certainly it was more money than I was earning in the United States as someone who was on the registry looking for any job whatsoever. And in the US, I was working for a particular restaurant chain. Boy, they didn't pay. And their vacation was a joke, and there was no health insurance. Having said that, I was terrified at all times once my company hired me that they were eventually going to find out what my past was, I'd lose my job. Well, some of you will recall my story that when I got considered for assistant manager, when I was being considered for promotion, I had to do a background check. That background check applied only to Germany. It did not apply to anything that happened in the United States. However, I thought it was really odd at the time that my area manager told me that when I did the background check, she says, "Don't worry, it's only Germany. It's not about the US." And I remember that flickering in the back of my mind, like, why would she say that? What does she know? And it was about 2 weeks after I was promoted to assistant manager that she and my immediate supervisor called me into a conference room in our office and told me that, in fact, they did know my history. Not only did they know my history, they were actually very offended by it. They were specifically offended that my own government would treat me the way that they did. So they were offended in my favor, and they were extremely supportive. So just to repeat, my immediate supervisor and my area manager both knew exactly what my history was, promoted me anyways. Fast forward a year, and I was having dinner alone with the chief operations officer of our company in a hotel. We were having pizza and beer together, and maybe, I don't particularly like beer, but maybe I drank one or two too many, and I started telling stories maybe I shouldn't have, and we ended up talking about prison, and my whole story came out, and I told him everything. I was very honest with him. Now, this is the head of my company, the head of operations here in Europe. I told him everything. He thought it was a great story. He thought parts of it were hilarious. He very much supported what I was doing in human rights. He very much supported what I was doing in the German Supreme Court. And I should mention, he himself is not German. He's actually Australian. Didn't matter. He was on board, and he would later approve my promotion to full general manager. So at this point, the head of the company knew exactly my history, my area manager knew my history, my immediate supervisor knew my history, and all of them were comfortable with promoting me. Well, something else has now happened. I can now tell you, I can now report that everyone in the human resources department and everyone in the training department, through the rumor mill, I guess, all know my history, every single one of them. And they're not hearing it from me, they're going and getting it from independent sources. And at this point, I think they all follow the YouTube channel, and they are all very supportive of what I've done. But here's the crazy part. I was called to a meeting, I don't know, 3 months ago. I was called by my supervisor into a conference room, and he said to me, from this day forward, I don't ever want to hear you use prison as an excuse again. I don't ever want to hear you talking about the registry as an excuse again. I don't want to hear about homophobia in the United States. I don't ever want to hear about it again. You have no more excuses. And he came across as kind of a little angry with me, but he was very direct. I don't want to hear it again. Yes, sir. Okay. He then opened up his laptop, opened up an email that he had received from the chief operations officer announcing that I was, for fiscal year 2023, the highest rated general manager in Europe for our company, period. I had reached the highest level of manager rating above hundreds of other managers. And my company gave me that award knowing exactly what my history was. To say it's an honor, I can't even put it into words, because I don't feel that I did anything to deserve this award. I really don't. I think what's happened is we have developed an outstanding culture inside of our office, and the people who work for me, the managers who work for me, the employees who work for me, all come to work with this absolutely fantastic attitude. They like working there, they like being there. They volunteer more time than they absolutely have to because they enjoy the culture in our office so much. And it just fills me with pride, because I never would have thought I could say how much I love my staff, and I do. I absolutely enjoy going to work with these people, and it's because of them that we have reached the success that we have. Now, I say this to you as much in praise of my staff as an encouragement to you. There comes a point when you have to leave the registry behind. You have to leave the excuses behind and move on. You have to make the conscious decision that you want something different than what you have right now. You hear me say it in every video. If you're not happy with your situation, do something about it. I promise you, it's not easy to come over here and completely restart your life. And when I say here, I mean in Europe. It's not easy to come over here. It is not easy. But if you're determined, there is a way. There absolutely is a way. And if you are honest about your past, if you are honest about who you are, where you are today, and if you're sincere moving forward, I'm telling you, every door is open to you here in Europe. I know that doesn't sound believable. I get it, but I'm telling you, it's the truth. You've already seen the videos of me flying, and in just a few months, I'm going to finish my pilot's license. You've seen it for yourself. I put the videos. You've seen me travel. Well, you haven't seen the videos yet because we haven't posted them yet, but I have traveled to other countries and I have seen amazing cities and done amazing things. It's fact. It happened. And I have now been named Manager of the Year for my entire company. It's all possible. It took a lot of hard work, but it's possible. And so in this meeting where my boss told me I was the highest rated manager in the company, he had me stand up. I was crying, as you would expect me to, and he hugged me. It's the first time my supervisor, who is German to his core, he actually hugged me and wept with me, because my past is finished. It's finished. I am done with the registry, and I am living my life. And my God, I hope you can do the same. I hope that you will be able to say that. As I wrap up this video, let me say that I was up at the airfield today supporting some friends on a project, and I came down to the center of our town to have lunch with Gus, who's standing behind the camera. And Gus and I, at least, 3 times that I can remember, remarked to each other how lucky we are, how beautiful a day it is. We live in a beautiful country, in a beautiful town, have great jobs, all because we were willing to roll the dice. When are you going to roll them? Hope this was food for thought, and I hope this was an encouragement to you. I very much want to hear from you in the comments, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we read them all. Until next time, my friends, please be smart, and remember that if you are not happy with your situation, it is on you to do something about it. Take care.